Hello guys, I just want to talk a little bit about something that I do for my beta and pretty much for all my fish at least once a month, and is that I feed them green peas. And what I do is I boil the peas for a couple of minutes, and then I mash them and I add this garlic solution for flavor. For the most part, they do eat it without the garlic solution, but I find that with the garlic, they tend to, I guess, as people claim it gives them a little bit more taste, and I've seen them actually taste the green peas a little bit more when I do add the garlic. So what I do, like I said, boil it, then peel it off. You have to peel it off, remove the skin of the green peas, and then what you do is you try to mash it with something, whatever you can find. I use this plastic utensil. In addition to that, what I do also is I feed it to my grinder worms, and they seem to love it. This is something that just happened that I was feeding my fish green peas, and I had my grinder worms next to me, and I said, you know what, let me do a test, let me see what happens, let me see if they eat it. And I just put a little bit on the side, and they ate it. So I just I've been doing it ever since. So just so you know, this is something that you like to try with your grinder worms or white worms or whatever you have. Okay, so now going back to this, like I said, my fish, people use this because usually when fish are sick, to when they're bloated or have any type of internal diseases and stuff like that. But my thing is, why wait until that happens when I could feed it to my fish and they eat it? You know what I mean? So this is a preventive method that I do, and in order to entice them even more to eat it, what I do is I usually skip a feeding at least every other 7 days or so, or every 7 days, depending on what I'm feeding them. And when I do skip a feeding one day, the following day, since I know they're very hungry, what I do is that's when I introduce the green peas. So I'm gonna give you a little demonstration, and so you could have an idea. So you could see it, how my fish eat it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here I have some betas here. It's gonna be a little difficult, but I'm gonna try my best. There's the green pea. There they go. Especially the female. She goes crazy after it. She's eating it. I just dumped a little bit too much because I couldn't do it. I had the camera in my hand. But eventually they're gonna come down and eat it. I just dumped way too much. I usually dump like a drop at a time, and then they see it and then they go after. There she goes. Let me see. There she goes. She just ate one that I dumped. I don't want to keep dumping anymore, because then they're not gonna eat it. But they definitely gonna go down to the bottom and eat it. I just dumped way too many at once because they usually like to eat from the top. Let's see. There you go. There you go. They're eating it. This is another pair here that I have of Max, and I'm not gonna try to dump that many. Look at the male already. He knows. Whoa, he's actually jumping. There they go. There they go. I actually have two females and a male here. Look at her. She's eating it. The male's actually eating. This female down here is eating them, chasing it. But just try not to add so much. I mean, and what I do is, I usually do this right before I do water change. So if there's anything left, all they're gonna do is just suck it up from the bottom. That's what works for me. I do it right before I do water change. A day. There you go. They're eating it. For some reason, the females tend to go more after it than males. And down here I have my juvies that I also feed it to them, and these guys really go after it. There they go. There they go. The key is not to dump that much at once, which is what I did in my previous tanks. And it's, you know, as soon as it sinks to the bottom, they have a hard time chasing it, but eventually they go in and get it. But these guys, especially these juvies, they love him. There they go. This is a great source of fiber as well. As I mentioned, prevents bloating, and you could, you know, many people use it to cure or to prevent many type of internal diseases and parasites and all kinds of stuff. There they go. Like I said, the key is definitely not to dump that much at the same time. Just little by little. You can see them right there eating it. And these guys here are my 4-she juvies, and they've been feeding it to them too previously. There they go. The parents are there with them too, so. Pretty much do this to all my fish for the most part, including the discus that I have in my other tanks and the Cardinals, and they seems to you know, eat it pretty well as well. There you go. Well, as you know, those of you that have fries, as you know that whenever you have a bunch of fries in a tank and one of them or two go after any source of food, you know, that creates that that eating frenzy, which, you know, helps for them to eat it. As you see there. And what I usually do is I try to mash it as much as possible, especially for the young ones. But I wanted to do the demonstration, and I wanted to do it fast. And I was trying to do it with one hand, and it was just only you know, it was a little difficult. It was a challenge. So I should have taken my time and mashed it real well. But they seem to be going after it. Sorry for the bad angle, but I'm just trying to feed it to them and record it at the same time. I have multiple species, multiple types of wild bettas, and the only wild bettas that I don't feed it to are the small bubble nestlers, because those are more they like to more chase the food, and you know, sometimes I dump it a little bit of green peas. I dump it in there and they might eat it, but you know, they're not as these guys. You know, these other wild bettas that I have that they just seem to go after, including regular bettas that I have. I fed them this green peas, and they go after it as well. So, you know, in my experience, like I said, I feed it to all my fish. Do not hesitate one bit. And the water does get a little cloudy, as you can see. Not that bad, nothing crazy. Just don't overfeed it. That's why, like I said, I try to do this a day before or the same day that that I'll be doing water changes. I'm gonna go to my other fish now so that you can see other fish eating. But look at these guys going after it. This is great.